What's up, guys? How are things going? It is Sunday, August 11th, and we have a 10-game MLB main slate. Before we get to the picks, if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button below so you get alerts on my new content. If you like the content, throw a like on the video. That's always appreciated. And follow me on Twitter and Instagram at the DFS Picks. So let's get into the uh, the slate today. Pitching, five guys over 10K. Top of the slate is going to be Justin Verlander. Then we go down to DeGrom and Castillo, and that's exactly kind of how I would rate them as far as how I would want them in my lineup. Castillo and DeGrom kind of closer, but Verlander for me is just even a 12-4 is just in this matchup against Baltimore. It's exactly what I would be looking for. Verlander 32 plus DK points in his last four, just on cruise control heading in late in the season. Baltimore strikes out 10th most as a team. They are not very good against right-handed pitching, and they're not really seeing the ball really well right now in the series. I think they scored 3 runs in the first 2 games of the series combined, so not seeing the ball very well right now. And Houston at minus 438 to win today too, so it's this looks like kind of a smash spot here for Verlander, and there is some value in the slate as well, so that we can afford to pay up for him and pay up for get some of the bats that we want otherwise in some other stacks. So as we go in the second pitching spot, we can go down. Not a whole lot that I like. I like Minor. Going against Milwaukee a little bit, but not at that price tag. Not with having Verlander as well. But as we go down a little bit more, Tanaka is okay. I like Fulte in Atlanta in a good matchup at 7K. If you look at his game log, bad game against Washington, but outside of that, sandwiching that, 2 good games against Philly and Minnesota. And Miami just doesn't hit well against righties, just like Baltimore. It's a good spot, just like Tehran the other night. Miami's going to roll out 8 righties in the lineup. It's just a good spot and a good price to roll out. I expect him to get nothing crazy, but um, you know, 17, 18, 19 DK points plus the win. I didn't look at the. Let's look and see if they're probably favored in this matchup, if I can find it. I can't find the Vegas stats right now, but I'm sure they're favored in the matchup anyways. It might end up being, probably isn't going to end up being a pitching duel. I can't see Atlanta being shut down again like they were the other night. But Fulte at 7K is where I'm rolling today. Going to bats. Actually, let's go to stacks first. So stacks, Houston, obviously. I mean, I don't even need to get into that with the games from last night. The normal stretch of players: Springer, Altuve, anyone pretty much from 1 to 6, down all the way down through Korea, even down to Chirinos. If you need to save just a little bit of money, but better catchers on the slate. Anyone on that side. Going against Wojo, who looked for a couple games. Let's take a look at Wojo's numbers. Looked for a couple games like he was getting something together, but that's not the kind of pitcher that he had the 2 games against Boston and LA where he just dominated. That's not really the type of pitcher that he is. He's more of what he's shown in the last 2 games against Toronto and New York of, going 4 or 5 innings, giving up 3, 4, 5 runs, something like that. And getting somewhere in the 4 or 5 strikeout range. Not great, but not a terrible pitcher either. But with the Houston bats and the way they're hitting right now, that's a solid stack to go with. And we'll go also second stack is going to be Boston. Boston is kind of took yesterday off, got crushed by the Angels in the day game, but they're due for a bounce back. Mookie Betts is sitting today, and we'll get into that a little later as well. But the right-handed bats on this side, Bogarts, Martinez, Travis going down there, all good spots for them. One more stack to look at and it's going to be going a little bit off what I normally do. But Cincinnati, they scored 9 runs yesterday, and they're in a good spot against John Lester. I just take a look at the righties on the Cincinnati side here, and that would make a good, pretty solid stack too. And you could, they're relatively cheap in general, so you can fit in some of those higher priced Houston bats too if you wanted to. But let's go into the specific picks for bats. We'll go to right back to that Cincy stack, and more specifically, Aquino. So Aquino, obviously, he's been crushing things. And normally, he had that 3 home run game last night. He has homered in 4 straight, so 6 homers in 4 games. Normally, I would fade this kind of game where he's coming off a monster game, like the 2 Cruz home run games. I faded him after. It just makes sense. Other teams' pitchers going to pitch around him, not give him the opportunity to do something nuts like that. But in this matchup, Lester against righties, a great matchup for him. Aquino's not going to keep hitting at this clip, but for just a little while longer, especially when the matchups are good, got to ride that. So we'll add him in, and still at an affordable price given his performance. He's at 4,200. We'll go over to the Boston, and we'll go to JD Martinez. So batting 4th today at 5,100. He's just so solid against lefties. 481 ISO, 561 WOBA. And he's going to get a pitcher in Sandoval coming in his second start. Had a pretty good start in his first start against the Reds. Let's take a look at him too. Went 5 innings, 3 hits, 2 runs, 2 walks, 8 Ks. I don't think that's the type of pitcher that he is. He's just having a good outing. You can take a look at his numbers. 6.41 ERA in AAA. I don't think that's really, it says there are hitter-friendly conditions in the Pacific Coast League, but his real aptitude is probably somewhere in between there. He's going to be a guy, a rookie coming into Boston, a big spot. He's going to be hitter's ballpark, and the big guys should be able to hit pretty well against him. They do have a high implied run total, 6.5 runs, second highest on the slate. So it looks like a good spot for the righties on Boston's side, primarily Martinez. So if you put him into the mix, let's get guys back in here. Martinez. One other guy to look at on the Boston side, it's Chris Owings. I'm not necessarily giving a start today, but he has dual eligibility, second base and outfielder, so it's good flexibility. 2,100 leading off. I'll have to take a look at the ownership percentages because the lineup just came out for Boston that he's starting. So just definitely something to take a look at, especially in GPPs. But if you do start him, that really helps out the rest of the lineup and getting higher priced bats in. But the other guy, so last pick coming out is going to be just kind of a one-off, going off against DeGrom, and another option to kind of pay down and get some other bats in is going to be Adam Eaton. So Eaton just kind of going under the radar. He's batting second today. Yesterday went 3 for 5, 9 points. He's averaging 13 points per game in his last 3. He's 6 out of 15 with a home run against DeGrom, hitting pretty well against DeGrom in a good spot right here. Not the best ballpark to hit in, but at 3,700 gives you another option to pay down. So if you look at that and take Eaton there, take a look at what that leaves. Leaves about 3,900 left, which gives you a lot of flexibility, a lot of different options to go and stack up however you really want to stack up. So that's all I got for you guys today. If you have any comments or questions, hit them up in the comments section below. Like I said at the beginning of the video, if you like the content, throw a like on the video. That is 100% always appreciated. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at the DFS Picks, and hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. All right, thanks, guys, and good luck today.